All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something a little different.
Okay.
It's a YouTube video
Right.
about a soccer player.
Okay. Which one?
It's called Sergio Busquets' Skills, the Genius of Simplicity.
Interesting title.
Yeah, and, our listeners, they love soccer. They want to know what makes certain players stand out.
Right.
And, you watch this video, and it's a compilation of all these plays by Sergio Busquets.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that really stood out to me was not so much even the plays themselves,
Hmm.
but like going through the transcript, there are all these thank yous.
Really?
Yeah, it's like every pass, every interception, every, just like simple play is met with this like chorus of thank yous.
Wow.
So I'm curious, like just from this limited text, what can we understand about Busquets' style?
That's interesting. You don't usually see that a lot in highlight videos. So I think the fact that there are all these thank yous probably means that he's doing something on the field that's consistently benefiting his team.
Right.
Eliciting this kind of gratitude from fans.
So maybe not the flashy plays that you usually see.
Yeah, maybe it's more about those subtle, effective plays that don't necessarily make the headlines, but are crucial for the team's success.
Right. So instead of like, the star soloist, it's more like he's the conductor of the orchestra.
Yeah,
And he's making sure everything comes together harmoniously.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand, tactically where he plays.
Okay.
Busquets, he usually plays as like a defensive midfielder,
Okay.
which is a very important position for controlling the flow of the game.
Uh-huh.
So, he's acting as a shield for the defense.
Right.
He's breaking up opponent attacks.
Right.
But he's also initiating his own team's offensive moves.
Because he's not necessarily like the one who's scoring all the goals.
Right.
But he's kind of setting the stage.
Exactly.
Like everyone else to succeed.
And I think that's where the simplicity comes in.
Yeah. Okay.
The title of the video, The Genius of Simplicity.
Yeah.
In soccer, especially in that position, simplicity can be a sign of mastery.
Huh.
A perfectly timed pass or a subtle change in position.
Right.
These seemingly simple actions can actually completely disrupt the opponent's strategy and create scoring opportunities for his team.
I see. I see.
So, yeah, there's a real art to that kind of simplicity.
But, some people might argue that, soccer is also about those like dazzling moments
Of course.
of individual brilliance, like, the incredible dribbling skills
Uh,
or those like impossible shots,
For sure. For sure.
So how do we reconcile that with this idea of the genius of simplicity?
Well, I think that's where it gets really interesting because, true genius often lies in making the complex look effortless.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a great sequence in this video
Okay.
around the 2-minute mark where Busquets receives a pass under pressure from like two opposing players.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of panicking or trying a risky dribble, he just makes this seemingly simple pass to a teammate who's in a better position. But if you watch it closely, you see that he actually anticipated his teammate's run and the opponent's movement,
Yeah.
like several steps ahead,
Right.
making that simple pass the most effective option and, in a way, the most genius option.
So it's like in those magic tricks where the simplest moves are the ones that are actually the most mind-boggling.
Exactly.
Once you kind of understand like all the thought and the skill that goes into it.
And I think that's what sets players like Busquets apart. They
Yeah.
have this incredible understanding of the game,
Right.
which allows them to make decisions that might seem simple on the surface,
Right.
but actually have a huge impact on the outcome.
Yeah. And that might explain all those thank yous
Yeah.
from the fans who like recognize his genius,
Yeah.
even if it's not
The most obvious.
super flashy or obvious.
Exactly.
So for our listeners out there, if you really want to understand Busquets' brilliance,
Yeah.
watch a full game and don't just focus on the ball.
Right.
Focus on like his positioning, his movement off the ball, how he seems to predict plays before they happen.
I think you'll see the game in a whole new light if you do that.
Yeah, you might even find yourself saying thank you.
To
Okay.
Sergio Busquets. All right, that's it for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See ya.